Steph Strings, welcome to Australian Musician.
Thank you, thanks for having me.
When did you first pick up a guitar?
Oh, my dad always used to play, so then he just always had it in the office and he'd always play, so I'd always see him playing it, I'd try play it, but I started doing lessons when I was 9, and before that I would just tinker. So I'm going to say 7, 8, 9 years old, yeah.
And the first guitar, what was that?
Oh, you know, I think it's a Washburn, and I still have it. That's like the guitar that I take to the beach, or the guitar that I kind of just play with, have as like my little backup. Yeah, it was a Washburn.
Yeah. What about your parents' music collection? What kind of albums could you find in there?
Well, Mum is a party rager. She loves a party, so it's all like disco-y kind of stuff. And she loves Prince, for example. Dad, however, he's really musically inclined, and he loves Elvis. The first word I ever said other than Mum and Dad was Elvis as a baby. I don't know how he made that happen. Fleetwood Mac, Chuck Berry, Chris Isaac, gosh, everybody, but mainly Elvis, yeah.
So as you began to learn guitar and you acquired your own tastes, who were the artists that you were admiring?
Ed Sheeran, actually. Really inspired by Ed Sheeran, by the fact that he is by himself and that he can make all that sound all alone. And Coldplay. Those two artists are probably my main two, and then it just kind of ended up narrowing down to, I guess, what it is now.
Yeah. Eventually you got into performing and recording. Tell me about the first time you went into a studio.
Oh, it was actually kind of recent. It would have been this time last year, because the first EP I did, I recorded it at school, and that wasn't a studio, but the first studio experience, I was really nervous, and I'm not a nervous person at all. I'm very confident, but in the first time I walked into this studio, I was thinking, I'm not good enough for this. This isn't me. I don't know how to make a song or all of that, but I got a fantastic producer called Tyson Fish who really helped me and made me feel comfortable, and now I love being in a studio, and I walk in and I think, no, I am good enough, I can do this.
Yeah, I imagine we're talking about the Wildfire.
Yes, that's the one.
6 songs.
Yes.
Were they all written around the same time?
I mean, I probably wrote them in maybe a 2-year period. Yeah, so I guess relatively in the same area. They all kind of tell a story. They're kind of like all different journal entries of the main things that happened in my life in those 2 to 3 years, which is kind of special.
Yeah. So in general, what's the starting point for a Steph Strings song?
Oh, for a song? The starting point for one of my songs usually comes just from guitar. It's rather than from lyrics or from a feeling. It just always starts with me mucking around on the guitar, and then I think, hang on, that sounds really good. And then I'll start adding some words to it, or adding a melody. But yeah, when I strip it back, I guess that's why I'm called Steph Strings. It's always the guitar is the main leader in all of this.
Yeah. The engineer has got a beautiful warm guitar tone to the EP.
Yeah.
Did you do many takes of each guitar part?
Yes, we did. Now that I look back, we really did, and my fingers were hurting a fair bit. And it was a mixture of my producer wanting certain sounds, but then also me going, no, I know I can play better than that. And then he'd look at me like, no, that was a good take, but then I'd still think, no, I want it to be perfect. So yeah, I think it was quite a lot of takes for all the songs.
Yeah. Is there a track on the EP that's closer to your heart than others?
Oh, probably a song called Catacombs. It's my most haunting song, and I feel like all the other songs are quite happy, and Catacombs has got this much deeper feeling through it, which I feel like I resonate with the most. I do like all happy, fluffy songs, but then that deep sound in Catacombs and the lyrics and the notes that I'm playing on the guitar as well, it's all very Irish, Celtic, and very, very I don't know. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of feeling. So every time I hear that or play that, I actually feel it in my body every time. So Catacombs is number one for me.
Yeah. Also, last year you released a new single, Lion.
Yes.
Why did you decide to put out two things in the 1 year?
Because I think, well, I wanted to, for starters. I just thought, well, this song's ready. I want to put it out and I want people to listen to it during the summer, because the song's all about me saying you should go outside and enjoy life, and I think summer's a good time for that. So that was one reason. And the second reason is that I think that in this day and age people want things sooner, like fans or listeners. And I'd always play Lion at my gigs and people would always say, you need to record that song, I need to hear that right now. I need to hear it on the drive home. And I'd say, I haven't recorded it yet. And they'd say, record it. So I kind of did it for other people as well, so that they could have a listen ASAP, I guess. Yeah.
So where are you at with your next recording? You're working towards an EP, an album?
Yes. Well, I'm working towards an EP, and that's going to come out in April. I haven't actually told anyone that yet, but that's going to come out before I head over to Europe. It's going to have Lion, an intro of Lion, a song called Joyous, a song that doesn't have a name yet, and a song called Lila about a witch. So there's going to be 5 songs.
You're taking those songs out on the road on an extensive Australian tour. How have you been preparing for that?
I've been preparing for this tour by eating really well, by not drinking much alcohol, practicing a lot, kind of just getting in a good headspace about it all. And I always lie in bed in the morning and I always think about how I'm going to bring my best show to the audience. So I'm doing a lot of, I sound like a hippie, but I do a lot of positive manifestation and planning in my head of what I'm picturing the next gig's going to be, or how the next tour is going to be. So hopefully it all turns out how I've planned it in my head.
Some dates on this tour, you're playing with Kim Churchill.
Yes.
You toured overseas with Kim. How important has Kim Churchill been to you as a mentor?
Kim has been extraordinary. We haven't actually gone overseas yet, but we went around Australia together, which was incredible. And he's been so important to me because Kim and John Butler are probably my 2 biggest inspirations. And to go on tour with Kim and to kind of be in the room with him every day at soundcheck and see how he works and see his performance every night, that was huge for my career. And on top of that, his lifestyle, the way he lives, and him as a person, he's been a big mentor to me in that way too. And now we're at this beautiful stage of our friendship where he's one of my best friends, and it's almost like we kind of mentor each other now in this beautiful way. So they always say don't meet your heroes, but I have, and now he's one of my closest mates.
After the Australian tour, you've got your first headline tour of UK and Europe.
Yes.
How have you been able to get to the stage where you can do that?
I have no idea. I feel like it's wrong. I was looking at those dates today, UK and Europe, and I was thinking, this isn't right. This shouldn't be happening, but it is. But I think it's just because I've met some incredible people like the Pierce brothers and Kim Churchill, who have kind of put me under their wing, helped me get to the stage where I'm at. I've got incredible management, an incredible booking agent, and I've got some incredible fans that want me to come over there. So I may as well, but I still pinch myself every day.
Another thing that you're doing this year is you're playing our Melbourne Guitar Show. What have you heard about the Melbourne Guitar Show?
Well, I actually didn't know much about it at all, but from when we spoke earlier, it sounds really cool having the 3 floors of just music and gear and guitar lovers. It kind of sounds like my perfect day. So I kind of like that I don't really know what to expect, because I feel like I'm just going to rock up and just be like a little kid at a carnival. So yeah, I can't wait actually.
Yeah, and you'll be doing the same show that you'll be doing around Australia at the Guitar Show?
I will, yeah, so you'll get to see it hopefully.
Talking about the Melbourne Guitar Show, let's talk about guitars. Tell me about this Pratley guitar that you've got now.
This guitar is from the Gold Coast, from a family-run business called Pratley, and I was lucky enough to be sent this guitar as like a sponsorship, and I've taken it with me absolutely everywhere. Sometimes it actually lays in the bed next to me at night if I'm really tired and I haven't packed up the guitar properly. But yeah, it's fantastic. I always tune it in a standard tuning, in an open tuning, and it works really well, and I really love it a lot.
Yeah. Recently I've seen some photos of you with the Guild Electric. Tell me about that one.
That, I haven't played that for 2 years, and then I lent it to my cousin and he gave it back to me about 2 days ago actually. And as soon as I opened up that guitar case, I thought, wow, I am being called right now to play electric guitar again. So the last couple of days I've been tinkering away, and I really like electric guitar, so I'm going to try out a few at the guitar festival. But yeah, Guild, they're a really great brand, and that guitar is absolutely stunning. And playing it, the neck, like it's just the smoothest neck. So I will be probably going home and playing on that tonight as well.
So for your tour, I imagine you just plugging into the desk with the Pratley? I've
got an LR Bags DI, which I go straight into. And that just makes it have a much better sound. And I can rely on that a little bit more. And then just, yeah, into the desk. I don't really have anything else going on. I'm hoping to get an octave pedal. I think that'd be really cool. But it's pretty raw. It's kind of like a busker. That's how I work, yeah.
So you've got the Australian tour, the Melbourne Guitar Show, the overseas tour. What's on for the second half of the year?
Well, I'm going to record again. I'm going to start recording another EP, and I'm going to go to Canada. I have hopefully got a few festivals lined up, and kind of hoping that there's a little tour that happens around it as well. I've never been to Canada, and I've heard so many good things about it. So I really hope that happens. And after Canada, there are a few big things lined up that I'm not allowed to mention yet, but they're pretty damn big. And one of them is falling on my birthday, October the 4th. So it'd be great if that happened.
Yeah, we look forward to news of that.
Yes.
So what's the grand plan?
The grand plan, I'm living it. The max that I ever thought I'd get to is maybe playing at the Workers Club in Melbourne. I didn't think I could go any further than that. Maybe play in Sydney for like one show. And all this extra stuff that's happened with Europe and recording music and everything that's been happening, it's all just a bonus, and I'm just super grateful. My only plan would just be, I want to keep doing this forever. I want to make enough money that I can support friends and family, and I want to be happy and healthy doing it. So they're the things. That's my plan. Yeah.
Steph Strings, thanks for joining us.
Oh, no worries. Thanks for the chat. That was lovely.